Penguin Audio presents Popular by Maya Van Wagenen. Read for you by Amber Faith with Lee Adams. Check out Maya's photo album on the PDF that accompanies this recording. To all those who sat alone at the edge of the playground, this book is for you.
Hi, I'm Betty Cornell. I wrote Betty Cornell's Teenage Popularity Guide in 1951. I was 24. Pedal pushers were the hottest fashion trend. They hit just below the knee and were the shortest shorts around. Pleated skirts had hemlines that often fell to the ankle, and many girls knit crewneck sweaters themselves, which were all the rage. Miniskirts were still more than a decade away, and skinny jeans and crop tops were unheard of. If you wanted a change for your hair, you got a reverse perm at the beauty salon. There were no boxes of hair color at the drugstore because no one dyed their hair. To style my hair, each evening I would pin it up in rag curlers stuffed with Kleenex to give more volume, go to bed, and wake up in the morning with the perfect page boy hairstyle. But today, things have changed. I walk around town and see hair in hues of blues and pinks, and the fashions are more revealing. While I have witnessed many fashion trends that were considerably less modest than what I wore growing up, I have been around long enough to recognize that a huge part of fashion is pushing the limits of the past. The more things have changed, it is interesting that the core motivation to outdo the previous generation clearly remains the same, just as it was when I wrote my book. It is comforting for me to know that even though I am no longer a prominent part of the fashion world, the end goal is still the same, even if the product is not. My most vivid memories of publishing my Teenage Popularity Guide are of how flattered I felt whenever I received letters from teenagers telling me how much they had learned by reading my book. They told me about their clothes, their hair, and their parties. I loved hearing from them. However, I was surprised many years later by another letter my book brought me, and this time it was by email, and turned out to be the most heartwarming and profound. It came from Maya Van Wagenen in April of 2012, and she told me that I had changed her life. She had used my book for tips and hints on how to deal with the challenges she was facing in school. Remarkably, she used advice I wrote decades ago and applied it in today's world. I was so delighted to know that my book had withstood the test of time and was still providing help to teenagers. When I finished reading Maya's book, this book you are about to read too, I felt a cascade of feelings: pride, love, satisfaction, and happy memories. It amazed me to see Maya tell her tale with such knowledge, poise, and grace. Over the years, I have seen many good grooming and fashion trends come and go, and, on rare occasion, return years later with modifications to fit the new generation's taste. But I never thought, when I was writing my book, that the advice I offered would be made relevant 60 years later through the eyes of a new, young writer. I began my career as a model and then found great success as an author. Maya is starting her career as an author, but she is already a model of courage and confidence for her generation and generations to come. Betty Cornell.
Introduction, or how this whole thing came to be. Don't skip this part. No, really, don't skip this part. School is the armpit of life, my best friend Kenzie once told me. Amen. My school is no exception. Walk through the scratched glass doors on that first day, and your life becomes a series of brutal and painful encounters. Being called a dick by the football player who sits near you in science, standing in a bra and granny panties in front of your gym locker that you can't open while the girls around you
Sample complete. Ready to continue?